Hi guys, I'm back with another book today.
And what's it called?
Tomatoes for Neela.
Yep. And we read this already. And I loved it. And it made me hungry. And we said we were going to make... We don't want to give anything away. But let's read it. This is by Padma Lakshmi and illustrated by Juana Martinez Neal. And the illustrations are amazing. Obviously, Padma was on Top Chef, right? She was a judge on Top Chef, and she's an excellent cook, so this is a good book. Neela loved cooking with her Amma in their cozy kitchen. There was a lovely portrait of her Pati that hung over them, watching them cook. Neela and her Amma made all kinds of yummy recipes. There were cakes and puddings and sauces always bubbling away. What looks good to you?
It's not the sushi.
Spaghetti with no meatballs. Those dumplings look yummy.
Look at the cake.
I like this lemon loaf.
What about the flan?
Yeah, I like flan. Dosas. Gosh, there's...
Chimichurri.
That's a good green
Spicy
sauce that I
lemon
like.
soup.
I would eat that. Yeah. Let's keep going. Amma scribbled all their recipes into a big notebook. It was always open. Neela loved to sit on the counter and copy the recipes into her own notebook too. Among the spices and nuts, there sat another cloth-covered book on the shelf. This one looked old and important, like it was full of spells and belonged to a wizard. But it actually once belonged to her Pati, and one day it would belong to Neela. Saturday was Neela's favorite day of the week. They were going to the green market. The market was always buzzing with customers and now brimming with crops from the end of summer. Juicy ripe peaches, plump blueberries, golden corn topped with stringy silk so shiny it looked like the hair on Neela's doll. The best time of the year. Remind me to take you to the green market when it comes back in the fall. And best of all, tomatoes.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me about these tomatoes, Bunny.
Okay, I'll read all the types. Grape tomatoes, lemon bay tomatoes,
What are these good for?
for snacks at the park, like the sun's sweet so heat. Green tomatoes, good for trying.
Frying, that's an F.
Good for
I could see why you thought
frying.
it was a T, but yeah, I'm thinking fried green tomatoes
Cherry tomatoes,
and plum tomatoes with not so many seeds. Beefsteak tomatoes.
big like a softball, slice them thick for toast with mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm. Neela smiled at the heirloom tomatoes with their funny shapes and ridges. Amma explained they are called heirlooms because their seeds are passed down from season to season, so they always maintain their deep flavor.
They look like this pill.
They do, you're right. These tomatoes remind Neela of Pati's cookbook. Neela and Amma brought back a bag bursting with plump, juicy plum tomatoes. Plum tomatoes were the best for making her Pati's favorite tomato sauce because they had fewer seeds. Making sauces was something she had done at the end of every summer right before school started since Neela could remember. Neela loved how the sauce tasted, but the sweetest part was that it made her feel closer to her Pati, who lived far away in India. Neela unpacked their treasure onto the counter as she smiled up at her Pati's portrait. Neela always helped her Amma. She shelled peas in the spring, peeled sweet potatoes in the fall, and even sprinkled and stirred spices into dishes. Neela loved listening to her Amma tell stories while they cooked together. Many of these tales had been passed down from mothers to their daughters. And I love the illustrations in this book. Amma washed and carefully cut X's on the bottom of each tomato. Then she dropped them in boiling water for just a few minutes. After she strained them and they were cool enough to touch, Neela began to peel them. Next, Amma cut them over a bowl, saving the juices and seeds. Neela peeled garlic, and then Amma sliced and fried the garlic gently with oil in the pan. At times, Amma moved so quickly the bangles on her wrists made pretty clinking sounds. This was music to Neela's ears. There was a slow rhythm when she chopped, faster beats when she shook spices, but the loudest and most fun was when her Amma shredded carrots with the box grater. That's a type of tool to cut vegetables. When the garlic was just barely golden, Amma added the tomatoes to the pan. Neela shook in the salt and Amma stirred, her bangles clinking and clacking. Neela danced around to the rhythm of the bracelet's music. Then she dropped in a few bay leaves so that Amma could stir again. Amma put a lid on the pan and showed Neela how to carefully lower the flame just so. The sauce simmered. The room smelled deliciously of warm tomatoes and roasted garlic. Did you know that tomato comes from an old Aztec word, tomato? They traveled from the New World all the way to Europe and even India long ago, Amma said. People thought tomatoes were pretty but feared they were poisonous. Neela laughed at the idea of being afraid of a tomato. Over the years, people in Spain and Italy began to cook them in sauces and stews and found they were just delicious. Neela wrote these notes down in her recipe book in clear letters. She was excited to show her Pati what she had learned about tomatoes and how she could make the family tomato sauce when she would come to visit in the winter. Sauce is ready. Want a taste? Amma asked. Yes, Neela said. She ate slowly, letting the warm sauce coat her mouth. This was the taste they would savor all winter, when the air grew cold and tomatoes were no longer in season. But why can't we just buy tomatoes then, Amma? Because tomatoes grow on vines on the longest days of the year when it's hot enough to go swimming. They need to swim in the sun. Amma explained that tomatoes picked when in season not only taste better, they are better for you. It's best to have fruits and vegetables when Mother Nature likes to grow them near us, Amma said. All Neela knew was that cooking tomatoes in summer would make her happy in winter too. Made into simple pasta sauce or yummy chutney used to stew beans for chili or turned into salsa for enchiladas, the tomatoes would fill containers and can jars that would be pride and joy of the kitchen. Now they just had to save enough to have tomatoes in winter. Neela placed a special jar of sauce in the back of the cupboard that she would save for Pati's next visit. That way, she would be a part of this special Saturday too. One day soon, they would share these sweet flavors together. What do you think Pati means? Yeah, and what do you think Amma means? Yeah, so you know some words that they use in India. And here we have Pati's tomato sauce. It's a recipe that sounds delicious. We hope you have enjoyed this book. You should check it out. Or, oh, here's Neela's tomato chutney too. I didn't see that the other day. Check it out or purchase it. Tomatoes, fun facts, and about farm workers, and an author's note. Lots more to check out in Tomatoes for Neela. We hope you enjoy.